drafting and prosecution. So that's recommended, and this keep it short. Thank you.
Thanks, Soumik. Wonderful job, and thanks for helping us gain some time which we have been losing. So with that, we have the last speaker of the session, Soumik. He's going to talk about deciphering the high quality information.
Hello everybody, and thank you for staying back. I'm the last speaker, but we just overshot the time a little bit, but I guess we should be doing fine. I'll be short. Yes, I'll try to do more short. But are we patenting a lot? Are we filing a lot of patents? Is it like, has it been a very usual practice to just have an invention and just keep filing and file a lot of patents? In India, we are filing a lot of patents. There's so much backlog in each of these patent offices. In Chennai alone, a patent, it takes minimum 3 years for a patent to get granted, even after filing. And the process just goes on and on. Too much patenting. We are just filing a lot of patents. But are all these patents getting granted, or are all these patents very high quality inventions? Have we actually determined any of that? I mean, there are entities who have a very good success ratio. There are entities who do not have a very good success ratio. Just to quote Ajay, I was just speaking to him a little while earlier, and he mentioned that they have a 90% grant rate. Whereas I have also seen entities who have filed in India around 600 to 700 patent applications they have filed, but they have just got only one grant. That's it. So, how is the quality? How are we going to identify that? So, and still, in spite of all of this, how much ever we are filing, the number of patents that we are filing in India is still a lot lesser than China. I mean, our neighboring country itself. But I just try to run the numbers whenever I'm running the numbers in my search tool. And at that time, it's a pretty staggering number which does not actually show all the patents itself, because it overshoots the limited capacity that is there for each year that I was trying to check. So why? Now China has a lot of utility patents, and maybe that is also one of the reasons that we get a lot of patents which are getting filed. But and this is one study that we did recently as part of Thomson Reuters, and we just published this report, which was about the industry trend and how much how many patents are being filed by corporates, how many patents are being filed in the academic and government sector. Is there any collaboration between them? Is there any good patents that are being filed in between them, where such quality inventions or quality work is being done, and then patents are being filed in that sector? In this, if you see that there's a lot of fluctuation, yes, but most of them again is particularly driven by the corporate sector, and some from the academic and government sector. There's also another statistics which I have not actually put it in the slide, where there are patents which corporates and academic and government entities have combined together, and then they have come up with a lot of new patents. So that's a very good sign, because most of those patents that will come up with a lot of research and a lot of thought into it. So what do? Either we file a lot of patents, or we file only quality inventions, patents for quality inventions, or also another way is we try to identify which are those good quality inventions. So how do we identify those? Can we just look at the patents and just identify whether those inventions are really worthwhile, and whether the people who are into licensing, and whether we should buy those patents, what will be the value for those patents? There have been other sessions which were talking about the IP valuation, patent valuation. So these are some factors which come into the picture which will help us identify those high quality inventions. So some of those factors are obviously if that patent has been granted, so we'll be able to identify whether that patent is a granted patent or not. And then beyond that, how many countries has it been filed? Why that is important? Because patent filing is still a very costly business. In India, okay, still relatively cheap. However, if one has to file in EP, one has to file in US or any other countries, multiple countries, and the cost just gets higher and higher. Why will a company invest on a patent that is not that worthwhile and actually file it in a lot of countries? If they have to have a lot of confidence in that particular patent, and then only they will be filing it in other countries, right? So that gives you an indication and to think that okay, maybe this is really a worthwhile patent, and that is why it is being filed in other countries. And also citations. Citations is something which is very, very important, and whether it be forward citations or backward citations. So I'll just talk about these in a little bit in more detail. So, as I was just mentioning about the citation part, that how original is that patent? Now, there are some patent or the very earlier patents which, let us say, if I am talking about a very simple bottle opening, and a bottle opener, I would like to see how many backward citations that particular patent would have had. Okay, the first bottle opener, the first invention, and I had actually looked at that patent, and there are very, very few backward citations. And backward citations not just means that what the applicant would have cited, but also what the examiner would have cited. I have seen patents when I was doing my work, and there are sometimes when the examiner hasn't cited anything and it has just got a grant. How good is that? I mean, without any issues. So I'm very sure the examiner would have done a very good job, and this is the US patent that I'm talking about. But then that is only because the patent either has been very well written and the attorney would have done a very, very good job in confusing the examiner, which still I feel is not the case, or that patent is really a good patent. So, and then what is this field of invention as well? Which field is it coming from? Is it an entirely new field which opens up a new ecosystem in altogether? So let us say mobile phones came up, and then mobile phones have this very inherent problem that the batteries are very, very small. Now the batteries are small, we are trying to make it better. Because of the lack or the problem that we have in this area where the batteries are small and we tend to lose our charges, so that's why the power banks came up. And I think nowadays most of us are carrying a power bank. Just because we are so dependent on this technology, we are so dependent on our phones. So why do we have these power banks? Because we are losing out on our charges. So these if we have a fast charging capability, or we have created an new ecosystem of chargers which can charge the batteries fast, or let us say wireless charging, which is going to come up pretty soon in all the phones. It's already there in some of the phones, it's going to come up pretty soon in all the phones. So these are giving way or making a new ecosystem altogether. So that's one field that one should look up to. And then again, who have cited the patents? Still coming back to the citations again. So what are the forward citations? And are these citations from different industries as well? So coming back to the battery part, I remember that there are a lot of patents which I was looking at, and those patents are related to fast charging ones. And we'll just think that okay, these patents about charging a lithium-ion battery quickly will be mostly from the companies who are related to mobile technology. And there were a lot of patents which were from Qualcomm and other places as well, other assignees. However, there were more patents which were from Tesla. Now Tesla is nothing but an automobile manufacturer. Did you ever think that Tesla will be into this? But because Tesla produces electric vehicles and they have their batteries which are running on lithium ion, so they need to charge their batteries very fast. Maybe from a different assignment or from a different industry altogether. However, this is something which is pretty similar and it has a wide range or wide scope. So forward citations from various different domains of industries also helps in identifying which is a very good inventive patent and has it been cited from the scientific community as well. Scientific community, usually I have seen not a lot of citations on a research paper. You don't see a lot of citations from for the patents. But then if somebody has actually cited from that, then really it is something worthwhile to look at and then dig deep into those issues. Now, another thing, how to recognize those some of those patents as well. You will be seeing those patent markings on the product. Just look out for those. In the pharmaceutical area, you will be looking at the orange book listings as well. Then whether the patent has been maintained and not allowed to expire. That is something which also helps in identifying that okay, the company is really putting a lot of trust into that patent and trying to identify whether that patent is good or not. Whether the patent life has also been extended, but this usually happens in pharmaceutical cases, not so much in other industries. Now, what was the patent family size versus was it very selective country coverage? This again in context of how we identify how much trust the company would have put in that patent. Now, whether it is mentioned in the company reports or websites now, this is very important because a company may have a big portfolio, but they have actually cited some of the patent numbers in their website that they have put a lot of trust in that patent and they thought that okay, this may be an important patent. Whether it has been licensed to other companies, that is something which is not so public, but then if you can identify some of them from any of these blogs or news reports, then it's worthwhile. And if they are of any technological importance, it has been cited by large number of legal papers. And if it has been litigated, that is again something which you can find out this data from various different sources again. Just to provide a level of invention, it's just it's about whether which is a very good invention. So level 1 invention is something very minuscule or just an apparent solution, and a level 5 is a very breakthrough invention. So that is one way of identifying them. And I again spoke about the citations, and this is a citation map which I generated from the Thomson Revision product, in which we kind of use it from Thomson Reuters. Yes, that will be all, and that is just what we do in Thomson Reuters.